Hi there. Right, in this clip we're going to look at waveform movement on locks. Now, previously we've shown you how to use a waveform for power generation and things like that, and people have never really understood what's going on. They think it's only a punch or an elbow or something like that. And they haven't understood how you can use that same movement in every movement that you should do. So we're going to show it for you on a couple of simple locks now, and you'll see the difference it makes. Anyway, let's have a look. Roll the clip. Show you this waveform movement on a simple lock. We're going to show it on a few different things as well, but I've got real control over this because I don't want to hurt anybody. It's got to be very, very light. We're going to stick to around about 0.5 to 1%. So we're going to grab hold of the hand here and do a simple lock. Now, resist it, Steve. Reality is you're going to rotate this down his centre until he gets to the point where his knees start to go. You get a feel for it. You can see, and again, resist, and you can resist. You can see how much strength I'm having to put in before it starts to bite. You can see, again, if we resist again, Steve, if you can come right close on my hand, you can see, resist, but I'm having to use strength to get this on, okay? Now, when you use the waveform movement, I'm just going to do the up and down one. I'll do this very, very light. You resist anyway. As this movement comes up and down, it has a completely different effect on that lock. And I'm letting go to make sure that he's safe. And he'll tell you the difference when he gets up. That movement is what generates that sudden of power. And that's as light as we can show it, really. Okay. Yeah. That's the straight up and down waveform. We've now got the side to side. Yeah, if you resist me, Steve, you okay? I'll just sort that out a sec. Okay. Yeah. If I'm doing side movement on this, resist, and I just use strength. Resist. That's it. And you can feel I'm having to use quite a bit of strength. And if you get close on this, you'll see I'm having to use strength. Resist. Resist. And eventually I can start to move in. I'll keep the power real low. It's now starting to get to a stage with these waveform movements that the side to side is a little bit worse for the training partner. So you have to cut the power again. I don't know what power level I'm at, but it's negligible. Again, you can resist as much as you can. So the movement is going to come up, round and through. So again, it comes here and it just bites like there's no tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Put it on. Put it on. Put it on. Again, you have to be very, very careful with these. And when you're practicing and you do it, and he's resisting, when you do it without the weight, whatever power you're using then, you should be really at 1 to 2% of that power at the most. Because any more than that, you're going to break something. And you must also remember in training to let go. It's important you let go, because if you keep hold of this wrist, or an elbow or something like that, you're going to snap it to pieces, and the training partner will not remain a training partner for long, or a friend for that matter. Okay. The next waveform movement that we did was the 45 degrees. Okay. Again, you've got to cut the power down again. It's a mixture of the up and down and side to side together. Again, resist, Steve. Without the waveform, resist everything you got. Resist. As I'm cutting at 45 degrees, resist. Come on, stronger. So you can see I'm having to use strength. And Steve knows how to resist these. And I'm having to get to a point where I'm using that much strength. I don't want to put too much more in case it just suddenly goes on. With the waveform, however, I do this so light. It's going to bite real fast. So the movement from here is this comes up, round, and through. Again, very small. It's in here, and it just bites like there's no tomorrow. And you can see the difference in effect, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me put it right.
Give me 5 minutes.
I can put it right now. Let me put it right. Let me put it right. Let me put it right. The thing is with these locks is that they stay in there. It's a weird thing. It's not like a normal lock at all. It's a completely different feel. Steve's done a lot of judo, jiu-jitsu. He knows what a lock feels like. He knows when to tap. And these are different. There isn't time to tap, there isn't time to do anything. This is why you must have a lot of control when you're doing this. And you must know how to put it back. Okay? Okay, the last one, I'll try and do it so lightly I don't do it. The last one is what we call a spiral. And we said at the beginning that that's the most devastating of waves of movement. So what we're going to do with this, it's like a snake going up a branch and it stays on him all the way around, like a corkscrew effect going up the arm. Now I'm going to send it out of Steve's elbow for his safety, because I don't want it going through his arm down into his body, because you can send it where you want it to go. Now, without a waveform, resisting, and I try to put a twist into his hand. It's hard work, and I'm getting to the point where it's just about getting there, but it's just getting there. And I'm having to use a fair amount of strength to do that. Again, I'll do it so light, I'm going to do it as light as I possibly can, because this hurts like hell. And so I'd rather it didn't go in than it did go in. I want to do it that light. And I'll send it out your elbow as well.
Yeah.
So it's here. Remember that movement that came this way. And that's all you're going to do, but your body is going to make it happen. So when it's here, and it just goes right through. I think it came out your elbow.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
Again, that was as light as you can do, really, to actually let it go in. Okay, do you want to sort it?
No, I'll be alright.
Now, these waves, at the minute, we just send them straight into here and let them disappear, or out the elbow with that spiral. You can send it wherever you want. If I wanted to send it down to his foot, then I just send it down to his foot, and you see his foot start to kick out. It doesn't feel any pain there so much, but it goes down here. So you send this motion, this movement, where you want it to go. Okay? We'll come on and show you some more in a moment. I'm going to show you these same movements on an armbar. Okay? If you've done martial arts, you know what an armbar is. If you haven't, an armbar is just applying pressure against the elbow joint. The elbow bends well this way, but it doesn't bend well this way. So that's basically all it is. Now, the problem most people have with this is that, if you resist me, Steve, when they try to apply this armbar, they get angles wrong, and all of a sudden it's difficult to get in there, and they start doing all this sort of stuff, and it's not going to work for them. You need to get the arm straight for one, so resist. So you need to push him away a little bit and pull, that will straighten his arm. Then you need to make sure that when you straighten his arm, or get it straighter, that you pull this and rotate this hand. So his elbow is not this way, you rotate it so his elbow is upwards. Okay? Once it's rotated to here, we can then start to apply this wave movement. If I don't apply a wave movement, but I manage to get you to here, Steve, and I'm just applying pressure, resist. You can see that eventually I might get there, but it's a struggle. I'd have to use a lot of body weight and a lot of strength. And anybody watching would say, wow, he's really trying to hurt that guy. When you have the wave movement, now this one you must let go. Because you're playing around with an elbow here, and if it snaps, he's not going to be your friend for long. So the movement is here, and that's all it is. If you watch this, it's a tiny movement here. That's all you need. This hand is just going to create a base, just fingertip pressure. And when you're here and you do that movement, it has a different effect, completely different. You can resist it. It doesn't matter. They can resist as much as they like, but it has this completely different effect. Now I'm letting go because you have to. It's training, and nothing is worth the health and safety of your training partner. But you can see the massive difference in effect from this to how a standard armbar is applied. You okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So key things, I'm not going to do it again, Steve. Key things are that these are placed at the correct angle, that you don't pull back on this in training, it's too much to do. You just create a little base here. I'm not going to do it, Steve. This is where the wave comes up and through. It comes from right the way from down there, up, round, and in. And it's not this, because in training you're going to break everything. You do it from being on. So just we'll send them off. Just this little movement. Okay? You must be very, very, very careful with this. Okay? Move on to some more in a moment. Well, how about that then? Oh, first thing you got to do, subscribe, press the like button, notification bell and all that sort of stuff. Right? That's got to be done. You've got to remember to do that. Apparently, I keep forgetting to mention it and stuff like that. So anyway, subscribe, notification bell and like button. Get that done. And if you do that, then obviously when we post new stuff, you'll get automatic notification, hence the notification. Okay, so a little bit more of an explanation about what you saw there and what's going on. All right. Now, don't care whether you believe me or not, but the power levels I'm using are negligible in that. You can see that the movement's a very small movement. Any background noise that you hear now, we've got construction going on next door. There's nothing we can do about it. They keep arriving at all times of day and night. So whenever you pick a time to do a video, they start making noise and beeping and all that sort of crap at each other. So, sorry. Anyway, the movement that you see is a small movement. Okay, we've made it a bigger small movement, if that makes any sense, so you can understand it and see what's actually going on. But the actual movement that you would do would be right the way through, full speed and full power. And like I've said many times before with waveform stuff, we're showing the ABC at 4 or 5 miles an hour and the ABC of A to Z, okay? So that you can understand it and you've got take-home value from it and it will work for you straight away. And there's lots of other things that will make it much more effective. And we're showing it at 4 or 5 miles an hour, which doesn't mean to say it can't be done at 104 miles an hour or 404 miles an hour or 1004 miles an hour. Just because we're showing it light and slow doesn't mean you can't speed it up and put some power in. We all know that, I hope, okay? It's done light and slow because it really hurts and we don't want to damage or overly hurt our training partners. Right? You save that for a real fight. So the movement that's going on is a small movement and it's not just doing that with your arm. It's the whole body is doing it, which puts the whole weight of the body, near enough, you know what I mean? It puts the weight of the body behind the strike, behind the lock, behind the press, the push, the movement, whatever it may be. So that same whole body movement can be used in everything. It can be used for a takedown, throws, trips, groundwork, putting on a lock, trying to get out of one. Movement, in, out, moving in safe, moving out safe, closing down distance, all sorts of things. There are unlimited ways to use that movement correctly. Okay, I can't begin to explain how important it is that movement is built inside you, that you get to understand it and utilize it and use it properly. It makes a huge difference. Okay, now when it comes to striking with it, and you can get double the effect from half the effort and at a slow speed, like we demonstrate for you, just imagine how much you get, or let's imagine it's just the same, but you're doing it full speed. Brilliant. Let's imagine it's only a 10% increase in power for you, but you can do it at full speed. Still brilliant. Where else can you go and get a 10% increase in 5 minutes? Nowhere. But if it's double the power and you can still do it at full speed, it's a no-brainer. Why? If you're not doing it, you're an idiot. You've got to be using it. You've got to investigate it and see how it works. That's exactly what we teach on our courses. How it works, how to do it, how to utilize it, how to learn it, train it, and then be able to apply it full speed, full power should you need to. Construction again. Okay, that is what it's all about. As long as you understand, there's a huge difference between what you see there teaching, training, learning, and you've got to understand that we're deliberately going light and slow for the sake of our training partners. You only go hard and fast in a real fight. Anyway, there you go. That's what we do. That's how we do it. I hope you've learned a lot from that. And remember, like, subscribe, notification bell, and have a look in the description. See if you want to take a free challenge or even just sign up straight away now. Anyway, thank you. See you soon. Bye.